carbohydrate chemistry. Okay, so we'll be learning, and we have seen some of the topics as well, the part of the topics. We have seen what are carbohydrates, the classification, how they are classified, and what are the properties of the carbohydrates. Like for example, we have seen isomers, and we had to start with the chemical properties. So by the definitions, we have seen carbohydrates are nothing but polyhydroxy, means they contain multiple OH groups and two functional group. In that, either of the one will be present. Either it contains a COH, that is the aldehyde group, or a keto group. Okay, they are nothing but the polyhydroxy alcohol containing aldehyde or keto group, or compounds which yield these, okay, which yield these on hydrolysis. Hydrolysis means you are breaking it down. Okay, then we know what are the different functions of the carbohydrate in the body. Okay, which can be asked as a short answer or 3-mark question. One, main energy source of the body, like for example glucose is the energy source of the body. Then storage form, in the animals it is stored as the glycogen, whereas when it comes to the plant, the storage form of the carbohydrate is the starch. It is stored as a starch. Then excess amount, okay, glycogen storage is also completed, it is full. Then what happens to the carbohydrate which you are eating excess? That is stored as the fats, or it will be converted into lipids, triacylglycerol. Okay, the fatty acid chain are synthesized from the carbohydrate. Apart from that, we have seen in the cell biology as well that carbohydrates are part of the cell membrane, like glycoprotein or glycolipids. So the carbohydrate part is also part of the membrane. And whatever carbohydrate is not digested, some of the carbohydrates are not digested by the humans or animals because they contain the component or the complex part of the carbohydrate, to digest which the humans lack the enzymes, or in simple words, the enzyme to digest these carbohydrates are absent in the humans. Like for example, the digestion of the cellulose or agar. So the body cannot digest them. So what happens if it is not digested? They become only the bulk. That is referred as dietary fibers. And its importance is where you will be learning in the chapter of nutrition. Okay, in the chapter of nutrition, you will be learning what is the importance of the dietary fibers, which is a short answer question. Okay, which is a short answer question in the exam. Then the ribose sugar, which is the carbohydrate, is part of your important genetic information, that is the DNA and RNA. So these are different places or functions which is delivered by the carbohydrates. Then we have seen classification of the carbohydrate. Some are called as monosaccharides, which are made up of single unit. Okay, single unit means, like for example, it might be simple glucose or galactose or anything. Okay, fructose, etc. They all are single unit. Single unit. When there is presence of double unit, okay, one unit and second unit, then they are called as di. Di means two. Saccharide means sugar molecules. Oligo means when it is up to 10 units of the sugars. And how they are bound here? They all are connected with each other by a bond called as glycosidic bond. Okay, glycosidic bond is the bond which keeps the monomeric units or the single unit together like a chain. Okay, single unit is chained to next unit. Similarly, by glycosidic bond, when it is up to 10 units, it is called as oligo. When it is more than that, then we term them as polysaccharides. Polysaccharides can be up to anything, any number. Okay, it can be any number. Polysaccharide. When it is more than 10, we call the sugar molecule or the carbohydrate as polysaccharides. This we have seen in our last class, and we have also seen what are monosaccharides and what are the examples. Okay, in the exam they'll ask you for short answer question, either 2-mark or 3-mark. Write the examples for, okay, monosaccharides and disaccharides. Then you should be able to write at least 2 in each. So total how many you will be writing? You'll be writing 4. So half marks each means you will be able to achieve the 2 mark for the question for the examples of the different carbohydrates. Okay, then we have seen in disaccharides the sugar or the sucrose, which is nothing but the table sugar, cane sugar. It contains the glucose and fructose. They are made up of two different monomeric units. Maltose, it is made up of same monomeric units. Lactose is consists of glucose and galactose. Then oligosaccharides. Oligosaccharides is when we tell that is the carbohydrates between units, that is the monomeric units between 2 to 10 monosaccharides. And we all know the bonds which stabilizes or is holding these monomeric units are glycosidic bond. Examples like these all we have enlisted: arabinose, xylose, ribose. So they all are part of these components. Okay, erythrulose. They all are part of this oligosaccharides. Then in the exam they'll ask you 2 mark question: polysaccharides. Polysaccharides is not just polysaccharides. They have classification again. They are classified under two headings. One is called as homopolysaccharide and other is called as heteropolysaccharide. Homo means same. Means what? Same type of monomeric units are present. Okay, same type of monomeric units are present. In hetero means different. Okay, like for example here, glycogen. Glycogen is made up of what? Only glucose. Glucose bond with glucose, glucose bond with glucose, etc. etc. Again, glucose only. Everywhere glucose. So the glucose molecules are bound to each other. The homopolysaccharide means same type of monomeric units are repeated in whole of the polysaccharide. Glycogen may be made up of 10,000 sugar units. Okay, it might contain 10,000 glucose molecules. So what do you understand? That all the monomeric units are same. They are called as homo, like Homo sapiens or homosexual. So they are of the same cadre. Similarly, glycogen is made up of same monomeric units. What are those? Glucose. Next, hetero. Hetero means different. Okay, means they are not made up of same units. They are made up of different units. Okay, they might be containing the glucose, galactose. Okay, then again glucose molecule, fructose molecule. So like that, they are made up of different carbohydrate units or the monomeric units. They are called as heteropolysaccharides. Examples like agar, gum, hyaluronic acids, keratin sulfate, etc. etc. Okay, in the exam they'll ask you for short answer question. Write the classification of polysaccharides. So you should be able to write what are different types of polysaccharides and what are the examples for the each. That is homopolysaccharides and heteropolysaccharides. This is the general structure which we have seen in our last class for the glucose. And glucose has a 3 representation which you tell as open projection of the formula. Then next type is the Fischer's formula, and last is the Haworth ring cycle. Okay, or Haworth ring presentation. These are 3 different representations of the glucose or any carbohydrate molecule. Okay, then we have learned about different things like stereoisomerism, and in that we have seen it represents the 2 isomeric forms, D and L form. D means when the OH group is present on the right side for the penultimate carbon atom. Okay, for the penultimate carbon atom, if OH group is represented on the right hand side, it is called as D, and if it is on the left side, it is called as L. It might be any sugar. Okay, D glucose or L glucose, D fructose or L fructose, anything. What it represents, capital. Okay, be vigilant. It is a capital D and capital L. Capital D stands for the OH group on the penultimate carbon atom present on the right side. Is called as D configuration. If it is present on the left side of the penultimate carbon atom, this is called as penultimate carbon atom. So then it is called as L form, and they represent the mirror image. If you see this on mirror image, here it is on right, but in the mirror image it appears on the left side. Okay, D glucose is a mirror image with the L-glucose. Next property what we have seen is the optical isomerism. In last class also I have mentioned you, when a polarized light made to travel across the solution, which is made up of any solution of carbohydrate, routinely what is we expect, it should go and hit the plate straight. Okay, this is the point of trajectory and this is the incident. Here it is falling. Routinely what we expect, it should follow the same path line, it should follow the same line. But what happening, these carbohydrates show the optical property, means they have the capacity to rotate the light. Okay, which side it will rotate? Will it rotate the clockwise direction or will it rotate the anti-clockwise direction? So that depends on the names. Okay, if it is rotating the ray of light to the right or clockwise direction, then it is called as dextro-rotatory, which we have seen in last class. If it is able to rotate the light to the clockwise direction, it is called as dextro-rotatory, which is represented as a small d or plus sign. If the light which is traveling through this carbohydrate solution rotates the light to the anti-clockwise, then it is called as levorotatory, which is represented as small l, or it is represented as a negative sign. Positive sign means when the ray of light is traveling through the solution, it will rotate the ray of light to the clockwise direction. L means it is rotating the ray of light on the anti-clockwise direction. That is called as levorotatory. This is the property shown by any carbohydrate. Okay, so this angle will be different. Okay, how much it is rotating the ray of light? It might rotate this much with 80% degrees, or it might rotate only 30 degrees. Okay, or on clockwise direction, it might rotate to say 80 degrees. Okay, depends how much it is doing. Similarly, like for example, D-glucose rotates 52.7 degrees, whereas D-fructose rotates minus 92. Minus means levorotatory. It rotates the ray of light on the anti-clockwise direction. Next one we have seen is the epimers. What are epimers? Epimers are the sugar differ from one another only in configuration with regards to single asymmetric carbon atom other than the reference carbon atom. Reference carbon atom is the nothing but the penultimate carbon atom, which we consider as the fifth carbon. Okay, this is the penultimate because OH is on the right side, we call them as the D-glucose. OH is on right side, we call this sugar as D-mannose. OH is on right side, we call them as a D-galactose. Okay, this is the penultimate carbon atom. Based on this, we are telling whether it is a capital D. Okay, D or L form of glucose or galactose or mannose. Apart from this position, if carbohydrate or the monosaccharide is differing at some other place, like for example, you can see in these two pairs. Okay, just see in these two pair, OH is on right, right. Here also it is on right, right. Okay, the orientation is same except at one position. That is at carbon number 2. In glucose, OH is on right side, but OH is on left side in the mannose. Otherwise, everything is same. CHOH is there, CHO is there, CHO, CH2OH is there. Everything is same. Representation is same. Orientation is same. But what is differing? It is differing only at single carbon atom. Okay, it is differing at only single carbon atom other than the reference carbon atom or the penultimate carbon atom. So these pairs are called as epimers. So glucose and mannose are epimers at C2, means at C2 position, except at that position, everywhere it is same, glucose and mannose. Similarly, other pair, glucose and galactose, 5 position is same, 3, 2, 1, 6, everything is same, except at the 4th position, where galactose at the 4th position is different from the glucose molecule. So glucose and galactose are epimers at C4, except at C4 they are similar. But how about mannose and galactose? No. If you see in the structure, at C2 position also they are different. Okay, C2 position also it is different, and C4 also it is different. So it cannot be more than one. Okay, it cannot be more than one difference in the orientation. So that's why mannose and glucose are epimers. Glucose and galactose are epimers, but not mannose and galactose, because by definition it is more than one single one carbon atom. They are differing. Okay, they are differing from each other more than one carbon atom. They are called as epimers. Mannose and glucose are epimers. Glucose and galactose are epimers. Okay, next we have seen anomers, which is dependent on the ring representation, Haworth ring representation. If you see here, this is the plane. Okay, this is the plane. At the first carbon atom, you see at first carbon atom, OH is present where? Is it below or is it above? If OH group is below the plane, then it is called as alpha. Why it is D? Because OH is on the right side of the plane. Okay, OH is also present on the below the plane. Alpha means at first carbon atom, OH group is on the below the plane. If you see the other side, here OH group is the above the plane. So it is called as beta D glucose. When you do the Haworth ring representation of the glucose molecule, you'll understand whether it is a alpha or a beta. Alpha means the OH group is below the plane. Beta is when the OH group is above the plane of this representation. Okay, next we had learned about the muta rotation. Means what? Any mixture. Okay, like for example, mixture of glucose you are taking. You have mixed the glucose in the bowl. Okay. Now, does it contain only alpha, or it contains only beta, or it contains combined? Yes, it is combined. Okay. The glucose molecule contain both alpha and beta. The alpha will show some amount of muta rotation. Okay, the angle of rotation. Both are again dextro-rotatory. When the ray of light passes through this, it will rotate the ray of light by 112 if it is alpha form. If it is in the beta form, it will rotate to the only 19 degrees. Here it will rotate so much, here it will rotate only less. So when there is a mixture, okay, when there is a mixture of both alpha plus beta, the cumulative, it will have a different rotation, degree of rotation. Okay, how much? It is 52.5 degree of rotation at the equilibrium, where 1/3 is alpha, 2/3 is beta in this solution. Okay, there is always equilibrium between both. Here you can see it is alpha representation, here it is beta representation. Okay, so with this we had completed the physical properties and classification